A young pastor called Alex Itegere used to be a lecturer in one of the institutions until he decided that he had a calling and that he must serve Master Jesus Christ.
I was made for freedom, no longer seems so ordinary. I was made for freedom, no longer seems so ordinary. I was made for free, no longer seems so ordinary. I was made.
This story has gone viral, and it is that of a young pastor who claimed that he is the next late senior prophet Temitope Balogun Joshua. I am sure this question will bug you in relation to this young pastor who decided to go after his father's shrine. I'm going to explain a little bit of that, but I want you to drop your own opinion. But I am going to explain a little bit of what I think could have happened, why those shrines, those deities, those gods were unable to protect those that, in quote, served them. Or did the Europeans come with a stronger demon, deity, or they came in the name of God to enslave, or did God mandate them to come so as to put an end to the activities of Africans? I mean, the activities of worshipping of deities, maybe sacrificing of babies, if that existed, and if it still exists till now. Was that the reason why they had upper hand? Because God is behind what they were doing? I want you to drop that in the comment section. But from what I am kind of seeing here, I'm thinking that Covenant worked against this young pastor as the
State. It was an
shrine,
upcoming.
the gods there struck at this pastor. If they had struck at him, maybe RIP'd him, it would have been a different story. But the gods operated differently. Covenant, like I said, probably worked against this young pastor. As you know, when ancestors go kneeling down before a god, or invite a god, or buy a god, or rent a god, or whatever it is that they do, invoke a god, whatever it is that they do, or maybe the god appeared to them and they decide to embrace the god. I don't know. I mean, the deity, the idol. When they meet these deities, the deities require covenant. The deities instruct them. And do not forget that these deities do not operate fairly. They're always looking for avenues to cheat. So these ancestors, they make a covenant. And the covenant definitely is to tie you and your unborn children to that deity. You might say, well, I wasn't there. Well, as the spiritual works is different. It does not work only on the person that went after the deity. You are inside of your ancestors. You didn't just appear from the moon somewhere. No, you have always been inside of your great-grandfather as far back as you can trace it. You have always been inside of them. You have always been inside of them. You didn't just appear new. You've been inside. So whilst they were covenanting themselves to these deities, you were also inside, even though questions were not asked. Maybe you want to join or partake in it, or maybe you have your own opinion. Do not forget at that time, you do not have the ability to say no. And even if you did, your resistance is so low, in fact, non-existent. So you are in cooperation with the man that took that oath on that day. Either it's a verbal oath, it's a written oath, whatever form of oath, you are part of that covenant. And now, like I said, this deity, they do not operate fear. No, they don't. Once they realize that this has been done, they know that you will not know. Because most of the time it is not written. At times the person who took that oath passes away. Maybe the person is a hunter, or the person is a farmer, or the person is just, a warrior. It could be anything. It could be that there is this, ailment that just struck and they want to kind of repel this, and they go meet some spirits to help them, ward off this. It could be a family deity, and also it would also be a deity that is worshipped generally in that village or town. All of these are tied together. Covenant, I believe, is what worked against this young man, and also maybe God did not instruct him or he didn't prepare yet to go after this deity. He just probably read the Bible, prayed, and he felt that this is the time. Because I've also seen a scenario like this where someone went after the deity of his ancestral land, his father's house, and he dried up and he passed away. Now, I'm not saying we have not found or seen people who have destroyed deities, even without going to where the deity is. They've destroyed deities, they've cast deities out, some have even removed themselves. Well, back to the story. This young man, after he did what he did, he was successful. Nothing happened to him on that day. But lo and behold, after some couple of days, the deity struck. And how did they strike him? As the saying goes, he or she that the gods or deities or demons want to RIP, first, they make the person mad. This guy was possessed by some demons and they began operating inside of him, his mind. The first thing he did was to go to one of his member, a new member of his church, a new member. He went visiting, like how pastors go to pay visits probably for deliverance and prayers and all of that. But he went there with a cutlass. He macheted that member, macheted the member. He crushed the member down. And the whole village, town members, the rest of them got angry. And the next thing they did was to set his church on fire. They set his church on fire. They burnt everything. They said, no, you are not the man of God. You are possessed. And they probably saw the ridicule. And one would ask, if God sent you, if God ordained you, if you have a calling on you, will God allow such to happen to you? Well, I'm going to throw this out to you guys to judge for yourself. What do you think about this? Do you believe that the covenant between his ancestors, of course, that he has been linked to, has not been broken yet? And God observes covenant because once the man begins to act, those deities will appear and say, angel, you cannot take action. No, this young man, first of all, his ancestors, which include him, according to what the spiritual law states, came to us and is also part of the covenant. How dare he come against us? Every time the angel wants to act, a covenant is presented and they cannot go against it. And that's the reason why this young man did what he did. And he eventually, got chained down. He has not been taken out by those. They've already arrested him, chained him down like, man, you're on your own. And definitely, he needs to be delivered. Hacking a member of his church, visiting their house and hacking them down is a police case. It will not go away anytime soon. It is so bad. It is so sad. I don't know what your thoughts are as regards this one. Have you experienced this? Or do you think that these deities are powerless or they are so strong? Or do you think that Africans neglected what they are supposed to worship and they go after the God of the Jews, or they go after Jesus Christ, the God of the Jews? Or do you think that these deities are simply playing games? Do you think that these deities are progressive? Do you think that progress was in Africa? Do you think those deities should have informed those that are worshippers of them that some people are coming to your country, they are coming to your town, your village, and they are going to oppress you, they are going to capture you, they are going to mess you up and all of that? What do you think about it? Drop it in the comment section, like and share. See you in the next update.